I'm writing to you because I know you'll understand. I love to play football, and you can guess how I felt today. My first game, when I didn't hear the whistle and piled on after the play was over. We got a 15-yard penalty for roughing, and it really cost us the game. I have this hearing problem, and my dad says you have a hearing problem too. Yet it doesn't seem to hurt your playing any. I wonder if you could tell me the secret of how you overcame this problem.
Billy's family is interested and concerned as he writes to another hard-of-hearing football player, star running back Larry Brown of the Washington Redskins. Billy's sister Kathy wants to help, and she brings him something she found.
Here's a stamp for your letter, Billy. Oh, Kathy, that stamp's no good. It's been used. What do you mean? See those lines? It's been canceled. You can only use the stamp once. I'll have to go to the post office and buy a new one. Can I go? Dad, can I?
Sure, if Billy wants you to.
Sure, come on.
Did you remember to put your return address and zip code on the letter?
Yeah, Dad, I did.
Billy has followed the correct form, putting the address in the center of the envelope and the return address in the upper left-hand corner.
What's a zip code, Billy? That's the number you write at the end of an address. See? That tells where the letter goes. How much will it cost to send it? It depends on how much it weighs. The more it weighs over a certain amount, the more it costs.
And Washington's far away, too.
The distance the letter goes doesn't matter, Kathy. Anywhere in the country costs the same. See that? If I had a stamp on it, I could mail it from that mailbox.
What's that lady doing?
She's a letter carrier, and she's collecting the mail that the people put in the mailbox.
I'd like to insure that for $50, please.
Is there anything breakable, sir?
What does that mean, insure?
If you pay an insure package, then if it gets lost or damaged, they will pay for it. How many stamps do I need for this letter?
One stamp, young man.
Thank you. You want to lick the stamp, Kathy, and put it on?
Can I? Where should I put it?
It has to go here, on the right side at the top.
What's that?
That's the machine you buy stamps from. Not that one. That's for special delivery.
What's that?
That costs a lot more, but it gets delivered by special delivery messenger even on Sunday. Put it in this one.
What will happen to your letter now?
Oh, there's a lot of people and machines back there to sort the mail, but it's kind of hard to explain.
Along with others dropped into this slot, Billy's letter is gathered up and sorted into separate bags according to size and type. Some other mail, registered mail, has been declared valuable by the sender, who has paid extra for it. Whoever handles this mail must sign for it, and until it is delivered, it is kept under lock and key. From the small post office branch where it was deposited, all of this mail is sent on to a big mail sorting center. Here they will separate all the letters and packages going to different places and send them on their way. Sacks of mail are dumped onto a moving belt that carries thousands of letters an hour to the people and machines that will sort them. First, odd-sized and larger pieces are separated out from the letters, which continue along the way, gradually being spread out so they can be handled one at a time. The Postal Service is continually testing new machines to speed the mail. This machine can tell where the stamps are. As letters go through, it can look at each envelope, and when it sees a stamp, in the twinkling of an eye, the machine prints on the lines to cancel it. If the machine doesn't see a stamp at all, it turns the letter over to look at the other side. The canceled letters go off to the side, all now facing the same way, ready for the next step. The machine has also printed the date and place of sending, which, together with the canceling, is called a postmark. Now the letters must be sorted for all the different places they are going. These are letter sorting machines. Here is where zip codes are so important. A little air suction arm picks up the letters and delivers them one at a time. The machine operator reads the first 3 numbers of each zip code. These tell what city or state postal center the letter must go to. Then he presses the proper keys, something like piano keys, that tell the machine where each letter goes. Each operator has just 1 second to read the zip code and press the right buttons for each letter. Now Billy's letter is on its way through. A letter a second from each operator. And each letter is carried to the proper bin where the keys the operator has pressed have sent it. Billy's letter drops into a bin for Washington, D.C. Letters without zip codes go into a separate bin. These letters must now be sorted by hand. This takes more time and may delay this mail. Thousands of parcels also go through each big mail processing center every day. Machines help sort this mail, too. Packages sent like this are called parcel post. As the letters in the sorting machine bins build up, they are removed and put into separate trays, each with mail going to the same place. Billy's letter goes into a tray, then into a sack going to Washington, D.C. As mail travels through the center, TV cameras and screens allow one person to watch all the conveyor belts at once, and by pressing buttons to control the flow of traffic to prevent jam-ups. And just as did the keys on the sorting machine, pushing buttons here directs machines where to take the mail sacks, until they are delivered to the trucks that will carry them away from the distribution center. Some trucks drive directly to other cities and towns with their mail. Mail from some trucks is taken to waiting trains. First-class mail, letter mail, always goes by the fastest way it can be sent. Most letter mail that has to travel very far goes by air. Billy's letter will get a speedy trip to Washington. There, his letter arrives with thousands from all over the world. Once again, it is fed into a letter sorting machine. But now the operator looks at only the last 2 numbers of the zip code. These tell which of many local post office branches the letter goes to. And Billy's letter goes into the bin for the branch that delivers the Redskins mail. Billy's letter was sorted for mail going to different cities, states, and countries. Then it was sorted again to be sent to the correct branch in the city. And now it is sorted once again for the different mail routes of each letter carrier in the branch. The clerks who do this know the streets by heart and which address is part of what mail route. But instead of streets, some letters are addressed to post office boxes. The Redskins have such an address. At the branch post office, this mail goes directly into locked compartments where the box user can pick it up at any time the post office lobby is open. Box holders don't have to wait for their mail to be delivered. Each box holder must pay rent for the use of the box, and each box has a separate key or combination lock. This is the Redskins box. After practice, Larry Brown gets his day's mail.
Hey, Larry, I see you got your usual bundle. You gonna read them all? You gonna be able to answer them?
I read them all. I answer them when I can. But it's kind of hard during football season.
Yeah, I know. They really keep us hopping, don't they?
Look at this one, Pete. This kid could use some help.
Mm-hmm.
But with football season in full swing, the Redskins are kept busy, practicing, playing, traveling. Larry Brown wants to answer Billy's letter, but a few days Then a few weeks go by before he is finally able to find the time.
Dear Billy, I'm sorry this letter is so late, but busy as I am, I'm glad to hear from you and to know you have accepted your hearing problem and want to do something about it.
Larry Brown's letter will go back to Billy in the same way Billy's letter traveled here. In the meantime, there's been a big and unexpected event in Billy's life. He and his family are moving to another part of the city. And at his new address, Billy is now worried that even if Larry Brown does write, the letter sent to the old address will never reach him. Back in Billy's old post office, very early in the morning, the letter carriers have gotten their mail for their routes. Billy's former letter carrier, Mr. Austin, like all the others, sorts his mail by streets and house numbers in the same order as he covers his route. Like Mr. Austin, many letter carriers walk from house to house. But on the wall behind Mr. Austin, someone has tacked up some pictures of other ways mail is delivered. In Illinois, one letter carrier uses a bicycle. In Kentucky, some mail is delivered on horseback. A boat is the shortest way to reach the houses around this lake in Wisconsin. And to get to the Havasupai Indians who live at the bottom of the Grand Canyon, a mule train takes mail and other things in 3 times a week. In farm country, the rural letter carrier drives from farm to farm in a car that is like a traveling post office. Farm people can buy stamps, send packages, and get many other services. For example, they can buy postal money orders. These are like checks to be cashed only by the persons or companies whose names appear on them. If one is lost or stolen, the Postal Service will replace it. Now Mr. Austin is almost finished sorting his mail. Mr. Austin remembers that one's not on his route anymore. What will happen to Billy's letter now? Will it go back to the Redskins? Will Billy ever get it? Billy's letter, along with those of others who have moved, is passed along to a special clerk. Billy's parents have filled out a change of address card, and for people who have done this, printed address labels have been prepared. Billy's letter is readdressed and sent on. Even though Billy has just about given up hope of ever hearing from Larry Brown, he has gotten into the habit of being in front of his house every day when the mail comes. Mr. Martin has walked several miles before getting to Billy's house. He knows Billy will be waiting for him.
Let's see now. I've got one letter today. I wonder if there's a Billy Himes living in here?
Oh, boy, thank you. It's come. It's come. Mommy, Daddy, he got it. Billy got it.
What's all the excitement about?
The letter. He got it.
Well, you finally got your letter.
Hearing aids can sure help us, Billy, and any problem they cause can be more than made up for in terms of success. I am totally deaf in one ear, and like you, I had difficulty hearing signals. Now I have a hearing aid that fits right into my helmet. Inside the helmet, next to the ear hole on my bad side, a tiny hearing aid receiver is fastened with adhesive tape, and a tube is run from the receiver to the other ear.
The story told in this film really happened to a real boy and to Larry Brown, and the letters they sent each other in the U.S. mail.